My wife passed away just before Thanksgiving. For months, her teenagers disrespected me and kept reminding me I wasn't their real father. So I let them move in with their grandparents. If I was never family, why was I expected to keep being their parent? Hello, Reddit I plus here. I never imagined I'd be writing something like this, but my phone has been blowing up for weeks with messages calling me heartless, selfish, and a terrible stepfather. At this point, I genuinely don't know if I'm wrong anymore. I'm 41. 8 months ago, my wife Rachel passed away unexpectedly from a brain aneurysm. One moment we were planning Thanksgiving dinner, and 3 days later, I was standing in a hospital hallway signing paperwork no husband should ever have to sign. Rachel and I had been married for 9 years. She came into the marriage with two children from a previous relationship, Logan, 17, and Mia, 16. Together, Rachel and I had two younger children, Ava, 4, and Caleb, 2. Losing Rachel shattered me. For weeks, I barely slept. I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed before remembering she wasn't there. But grief didn't stop life. Bills still came, kids still needed breakfast, laundry still piled up, and somehow I became a single parent overnight. At first, I tried my best to hold everyone together. I arranged counseling, I reduced my work hours, I checked in on the teenagers constantly. I told them they could talk to me whenever they wanted. They wanted none of it. Every conversation became a reminder that I wasn't their father. You're not dad. You can't tell us what to do. Mom's gone. You don't get to replace her. At first I understood. Their mother had died. I gave them grace, then more grace, then even more. Months passed, nothing changed. Actually, things got worse. They stopped cleaning up after themselves. They ignored every household rule. If I asked them to help with their younger siblings, they'd laugh. One night, Logan looked me dead in the eye and said, "If Mom was still here, she'd never let you boss us around." I walked away because I knew if I responded while emotional, I'd regret it. The biggest problem was their biological father, Greg. He had spent years telling anyone who would listen that I wasn't a parent to his kids. He fought me being listed as an emergency contact at school. He fought me attending parent meetings. He constantly reminded everyone that I was just Mom's husband. Fine, I accepted that. But after Rachel died, he suddenly expected me to keep doing all the work. The final straw happened in March. The kids wanted to visit their paternal grandparents for dinner. The grandparents lived nearly 2 hours away. I loaded everyone into the car and drove there. After dinner, I told the kids it was time to head home because Ava was exhausted and Caleb was falling asleep in his high chair. Logan laughed. "We're not going." I thought he was joking. He wasn't. Mia crossed her arms. "We'll stay here." I said no. The drive home was long and the younger kids needed their beds. Their grandmother immediately jumped in. "Why can't you just leave them?" I explained that I wasn't driving 4 hours round trip twice in one weekend. She rolled her eyes. "They've been through enough." Then Logan said the sentence that changed everything. "You're not our dad anyway." The room went quiet. His grandfather nodded. Nobody corrected him. Nobody defended me. Nobody acknowledged everything I'd done for years. In that moment, something inside me broke. Not angrily, not dramatically. I was simply done. I looked around the room and said, "Okay, that was it. Just okay." The following weekend, I rented a small trailer. I packed every item from their bedrooms, clothes, furniture, game consoles, school supplies, everything. Then I drove it all to their grandparents' house. When Logan opened the door, his face turned white. "What are you doing?" I handed him the keys to the trailer. "I'm respecting your wishes." His grandmother came outside screaming. I calmly reminded her that everyone had spent years telling me I wasn't their parent. Now, I was finally acting accordingly. A week later, Greg suddenly became furious. Apparently, being the actual parent was much harder than criticizing someone else for doing it. The teenagers eventually moved in with their uncle, who lived closer to their school. They stayed with their friends, kept their routines, and honestly, they seemed happier. Meanwhile, my house changed overnight. The constant arguments disappeared. The tension vanished. My daughter stopped asking why her older brother yelled at her all the time. My son started sleeping through the night again. For the first time since Rachel died, the house felt peaceful. That peace came with a cost, though. Rachel's entire side of the family declared me a monster. According to them, I'd abandoned grieving children. According to me, I finally stopped forcing a relationship nobody wanted. The irony is that I still set aside part of Rachel's life insurance for both teenagers. Every child gets an equal share. I never tried to punish them financially. But the house, the cars, the savings I built over the years, those were mine. I worked for them. And now, they're being used to support the two children still living with me. The messages keep coming. How could you throw them away? Rachel would be ashamed. You promised to love them. Maybe they're right. Maybe I failed. But I spent years being told I wasn't family. Then after Rachel died, everyone expected me to carry all the responsibility while having none of the authority. At some point, I had to choose between fighting a battle I couldn't win and protecting the two little kids who still depended on me for everything. So I chose them. Maybe that makes me the villain in someone else's story. But every night when my daughter hugs me and falls asleep smiling instead of crying from another argument in the house, I sleep a little easier. So Reddit I plus audience, I harsh on this.